All right, so we're in the season of graduations. Everybody's graduating, high school, college, all these different things. But when I see the high school graduates, I feel like that's a very precious time. And I try to think back to when I was graduating high school and the advice people around me were given at that time. And I just want to say this: the things I wish somebody would have told me when I was graduating high school was, or the things I wish somebody would have asked me when I was graduating high school was, what are you passionate about? What are your likes and dislikes? What are you interested in? Do you have any creative talents? What do you like to do for fun? Those type of things. Because when I was coming out, I didn't have anyone around me talking to me about tapping into my passions. I didn't have anyone presenting different avenues. We are so stuck on, okay, athleticism, being athletes. They this tall, they got these, so they should be an athlete. What about them? Maybe they want to explore being an engineer or law. Like what? How do you? If we don't ask those questions or present that type of information or show it to our children or mentees or whatever, how do they know about these other options? They just feel like they have the path of going to school to get a basketball or athletic scholarship. They don't see any other way. So I just want us to really like take a step back as, adults when you talk to these kids about what their next steps are as far as going to college. Is college even for them, right? College isn't for everybody. There are some things that people have interest and passions in that don't require college. And I'm not against college. I'm a college graduate and I'm not against it. But there are times where we're wasting time and we're wasting money and we're setting up kids for this path of them wasting time and wasting money because it's something that the parents feel they should do. The parent is a nurse or into medical, so they want to put their kids into that, right? They tell them that's the best path. You're going to make great money. You get to, work with people. You get to do all these things. What if that's not their passion? What if that's not their path? But of course, we are all motivated by money. So a young 18, 19-year-old, 17, whatever the case may be, coming out of high school, they want to make money. So they're like, okay, my mom, dad said I should go to school to be a nurse. Let me go to school to be a nurse. But then once they actually get into clinicals, they don't like needles. They don't like touching people. They don't like looking at blood. Those are the things that we got to start talking about prior. What is their passion? They like drawing. They into the arts. They like music. There's careers for everything. You can be, I have a young lady I know. She's into arts, right? And she's like, I'm going to school for law. And I'm like, why law? She really doesn't have a response. She's like, well, she talks about parents wanting her to go to college. But if she's into arts, I'm like, do you know what kind of careers you can have if you like drawing and different things? She's like, well, at one point I did want to be a tattoo artist. And I get most parents would be like, not a tattoo artist. But what about thinking about that from a different lens? Like she could start as a tattoo artist. She could eventually become an entrepreneur and own her own tattoo business. And we know tattoos ain't going out of style. So it's kind of thinking about things from a different lens. We don't want to stop these kids from doing things. I met another young lady recently who wanted to be, what does she want to be? Something in construction. She wanted to be construction and she wanted to learn to build things. And she wanted to get her hands on, building up houses from the ground up. That's what it was. And she's like, she can't do it though, because her mom doesn't want her to, because she's a girl. So she's going to go to school for nursing. And I'm like, that didn't make sense. She was like, yeah. And I said, well, I asked her, I said, why did you want to go learn construction work? I was curious. She said, well, I want to learn how to build houses because one day after that, I'm going to become an architect. But I want to, when I have a team of people, I want to let them know I used to be in the field. So when they hear me, they can actually listen to me because they know I've been out there. And I was like, oh, wow, that makes plenty of sense. I straight up told her, I said, don't listen to your mom, like go with your heart. And maybe that's, some people wouldn't like me telling their children that, but I'm a firm believer and you have to do things that you're passionate about. You don't want to wake up and go to work and hate your freaking job every single day. You don't want to get to that point in life where you're like, 10 years go by, you now in your 30s, and you're waking up doing something that you absolutely hate. And then that's a stressor in life. Now you married, now you got kids, and everything's becoming more stressful because you hate your job. And that's something that you spend 40, 50 hours at per week. Like, we got to start thinking about that stuff. Like, I get it's just the beginning of their lives, but it is shaping them and it is the start of their journey. So as these kids are graduating, what I'm trying to say is ask them questions, find out their interests, talk to them about their passions. Like, what is their heart desire? And be open and honest with them that, hey, I get this is now, but it could change. Even if they're going to college, don't force them to create a major and select, I'm going to college for accounting at the age of 18, because at the age of 20, they're not going to be the same person. At the age of 22, they're not going to be the same person. They're going to get some experiences while they're in school, and that's probably going to change. And then they're not going to want to disappoint you, so they're going to keep going with it. They're going to get the 4-year degree. They're going to graduate, get an accounting degree, and guess what? They're going to go into being a dang chemist. I don't know. It's going to be something that they truly wanted to do, or go into being a dance or choreographer. They want to do something that they truly want to do, and it's a waste of time, waste of money. It's just something I'm really passionate about. I just feel and I hear and I see so many parents forcing, what are you going to school for? And I get it. We want them to go to school, but don't be so hung up on the major. Don't be so hung up on that, because this is a 17, 18-year-old kid. They're going to change. They're not even fully developed. They don't even know what's out there. They haven't been exposed to it unless you expose them to it. But most of us as parents, mentors or whatever, a lot of times haven't exposed them. They can't say that they want to be into music engineering, or they can't say they want to be an entrepreneur if they've never been exposed to it. Of course, that's not on their list. So if you have younger kids, start exposing them to different things early. And B, if your kid is at the point of graduation, expose them to some things. Try to find some different ways for them to follow people, volunteer with people, just so they can kind of see, hey, this is the job I say I'm going to do. Maybe there's not an internship available, but a lot of times people will let you shadow them and work with them just cause, as a helper, as a volunteer, just to really see what they like. Expose them, because these are young kids and they do not know, and they're looking up to us as the adults to kind of help pave that path. And if we're putting them down the wrong path, if we're just telling them, hey, oh yeah, that's a great thing, you're going to make great money, that's not it. Like, we know money doesn't bring happiness. Like, it does not bring happiness. Does money make life better? Does it make it more comfortable? Yes. But does it bring happiness? No. 100% doesn't, and we don't want to set kids up for that. So I just wanted to come on here to say, like, it's graduation season, but prep these young individuals the best way you can. And that's all I got, y'all. This is Coach P. Wade. I didn't really mean to make an episode, but I'm going to post this as an episode. So if you watch this, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm Coach P. Wade. Make sure you follow me on IG at Coach P. Wade. Follow me on TikTok at Coach P. Wade. And if you go on Facebook at Patrice Wade. Y'all, playtime is over. I'm out. Let's get it.